This is TWiT.
I don't know if any of you saw this story, but I had to report to the FBI a intrusion attempt to hack my campaign
The
webcams for my house. So
we sent you a bunch of cameras. Was it them?
No, it wasn't that. It was the Nest system there.
Okay.
That was the weak link in the chain.
I think we sent you Ring system, didn't we?
You did. You did. Absolutely.
Did you retire those after the hacks?
It's a great product. It's a very good product.
Okay. But you switched to Nest.
But the Nest system, basically I did have to report this to the FBI, and they are currently coming through all of my email addresses for that. I want to tell everyone here, like everyone on this show today, you're all journalists. And I did go ahead and sign up for the Google highest security thing, which anyone can opt into with one of these. This is a Google Titan key. There are two of them that come along with it. So, all of us here, we've got multiple accounts. It's kind of a pain in the butt to have an additional security stuff. But the truth is TFA and, SMS is not the safest way to secure your email account. So I can tell you, we went through, I did a full security audit, top to bottom. We found other intrusions, and it's a very, very good system. It's mostly painless. It's a little bit quirky if you're all on iOS, and there is a Bluetooth component to it that's inconvenient.
They have USB-C, I think, right?
It does have USB-C.
I do it also. They're advanced protection, and you don't have to use the Titan key. And I use this as a YubiKey, the 5CI, that has both Lightning on one end and Type-C on the other end. And then you can see, this is on my keychain. I also carry an adapter for Type-A. So I use this key. And by the way, and Google gives you two, but don't get one key in case you lose it. You can register multiple keys. And it's probably a good idea to register the key you keep on your keychain, and as well as the key that you put in your safe deposit box, or I just keep it, I shouldn't say where, somewhere safe. So do you know how you were hacked?
So one of the things I just want to let the FBI do their job and not comment on it publicly. I think that's the best way to go forward there. I think I will say I feel comfortable saying this. Like most people, I have many, many different accounts. In one of my accounts, I did not put TFA on. We're tech people. I'm sure all of us have like 10, 15 email accounts here. And one of the ones in the loop was vulnerable.
All it takes is one.
And that's exactly right. And I'm someone, I use 1Password. I generate the longest string that I can. You've got to take this extremely seriously, especially if you have devices like security cams for your house. So I guess I just wanted to say the YubiKey / Google Titan key, it's a very, very good product. And I think anyone that's at a high risk of being targeted should consider this, because there's a whole conversation to be had about the S7 backbone and how safe it is.
Cell phones are not safe, period.
No, they aren't. That's a fact.
This advanced protection program is free. Anybody who uses Google can use it. It's a step beyond just using an authenticator or text messaging. It uses these hardware dongles. They do, in fact, specifically say anyone at risk of targeted attacks like journalists, activists, business leaders, and political campaign teams. And I think they created this in response to the DNC hack, as I remember.
They did.
So this is specific. You're the target, but I also consider myself a target, and I always use hardware authentication. I feel like it's a great thing to do. In fact, there's Ask the Tech Guy we did on authentication keys.
I think one of the things that was really heartening for me, Leo, is, I dealt with the FBI a lot during Gamergate, which also involved tech policy issues. And the conversation I had with them in 2020 was night and day. And the impression I got is that they've had a lot of internal conversations, because the level of education was stunning. Like the questions they were asking me were, have you been using a VPN to access? And that's a pretty insightful question for the FBI to ask you, because that would throw off false positives if you've been hacked. So I was just really impressed by how much better they were today than 5 years ago.
That's encouraging. By the way, Google also will let you, and this is a newer feature of advanced protection, use your phone as a physical authentication key. So my phone, it was one of my phones, I won't show you which one, is registered as an authentication key as well as the physical YubiKey. And that makes it a little bit easier. You can add external keys, but it's nice that you can use an Android or iOS device, even a Mac or Windows PC. So
I'm not a fan of that. My team wanted to use that, and I just thought I know there are ways to get around it.
It uses Bluetooth, which isn't the most secure thing in the world. Yeah.
Right. There's just, I think if you're trying to reach the highest level, if you're going to do this, do it right, basically.
I agree. Yeah. And of course, remember that the lowest hanging fruit in your security chain is the one the hackers will attack. So if you are using, and I see this all the time with banks especially, they'll let you use better two-factor like an authenticator, but they always fall back to SMS, text messaging. And that means you're no more secure than if you were just using text messaging. Yeah. If a hacker can say, I lost my key. Oh, don't worry, we'll text you a key. That isn't good security. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that you...
SMS jacked, then you can get SMS jacked.
Yeah, it happens all the time. I'm sorry that happened to you, Brianna, and I'm glad that the FBI is working on it, and I hope they catch him.
Well, it was.
Do they think it was
awkward? Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Do they think it was a state actor?
They haven't said either way. I don't know. It was a real gut check moment for me, especially talking publicly about it, because I'm obviously running on a cybersecurity platform, and it's frankly embarrassing that, I know what the best course of action is. I talk about it all the time, and to have made a stupid mistake and to still have been
no. Don't
vulnerable.
Beat up on
it's
yourself.
Embarrassing.
Don't beat up on yourself.
But I thought it was the right thing to do, to come forward and say, look, this happened to me. This is something all campaigns need to take seriously. I'm not even an elected official yet, and I'm being targeted.
The thing to remember is there are really two kinds of attacks in the world. There are general phishing attacks. Those are much easier to defend against. If you're a target, it is very difficult. And ultimately, if you're a target of a state actor, it's almost impossible, to be honest. Brianna is the target of a variety of, as you may remember or may know already, she was one of the targets of Gamergate. So you have lots of enemies. I'm sorry.
I do. I had the best enemies.
Well, I would say the worst, to creepiest anyway. And so I'm really sorry that happened. And you can't assume it was political or nation.
I have good reason to believe it was political by nature.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't say too much. Investigation ongoing. I look forward to reporting on a future This Week in Tech that they got them.